The Greeks imagined something the human mind keeps trying to forget. A place where death is not the end of suffering, but the beginning of it. 2 men live there now. One reaches forever for food he will never taste. One pushes a stone that will never stay. Neither of them can die, because they already have. Their names are Tantalus and Sisyphus. We use one of them every single day. When something dangles just out of reach, we say it is tantalizing, and we have no idea we are quoting a damned king. So here is the question this video answers, and I promise you a real verdict at the end. What could a mortal possibly do to earn a punishment the Greeks themselves called worse than death? And here is the twist most retellings quietly get wrong. Our oldest source, Homer, tells us exactly what these men suffer, but he barely tells us why. The reasons came later, and some of them may not be true at all. So start where the story itself starts. Around 700 years before Christ, in Book 11 of the Odyssey, the hero Odysseus sails to the very edge of the world and calls up the dead. Among the drifting shades, he sees 2 famous sufferers. First, Tantalus, standing in a pool of water that rises to his chin. Over his head hang pears and pomegranates, sweet figs and ripe olives. But every time the old man stoops to drink, the water drains away into the black earth at his feet. Every time he stretches up toward the fruit, the wind tosses the branches high into the clouds. Hunger he cannot end. Thirst he cannot slake forever. And nearby stands Sisyphus, straining with both hands to heave a monstrous boulder up a hill. And just as he is about to push it over the top, the weight turns him back, and the shameless stone goes thundering down to the plain, and the whole agony begins again. The sweat pours from his limbs. The dust rises from his head. Slow Homer shows us the torture in perfect, unbearable detail. What he does not do, and this is the part that matters, is tell us the crime. So why is Tantalus there? Here, the ancient world splits in 2, and that disagreement is the truth. In one tradition, Tantalus was a favorite of the gods. He was invited to dine at their own table and fed the food of immortals, nectar and ambrosia, and he stole it. The poet Pindar, writing in the 5th century before Christ, says Tantalus smuggled that divine food back down to his mortal friends, handing the secret of the gods to men who were never meant to have it swell. But there is a darker version, and it is the one history chose to remember. Tantalus, the story goes, wanted to test whether the gods were truly all-knowing. So he killed his own son, Pelops. He cut the body apart, cooked it into a stew, and served it to the Olympians as a feast. The gods recoiled in horror. Every single one of them knew. Only Demeter, lost in grief for her stolen daughter, absent-mindedly ate a piece of the shoulder. Zeus restored the boy to life and gave him a shoulder of ivory where the flesh had been. And he cast the father down into endless hunger. Beside food, he can never eat. And the punishment fits with terrible precision. The man who served a monstrous meal will reach for a meal forever. Now Sisyphus, and his crime is the most audacious in all of mythology because he did the one thing no mortal is ever allowed to do. He beat death, not once, twice. In the later tellings, Zeus sends death himself, Thanatos, to chain Sisyphus in the underworld. But Sisyphus, the cleverest of all kings, simply asks death to show him how the shackles work. And death obliges. So Sisyphus snaps the chains shut around him. With death himself locked away, suddenly no one on earth can die. Wars become bloodless. The sick will not pass. The whole natural order breaks until the gods send the war god to set death free and drag the trickster down. Swell. And still he is not finished. Before he dies, Sisyphus tells his own wife to leave his body unburied, with no funeral rites at all. Then, down in the underworld, he goes to Persephone, the queen of the dead, and he weeps. He complains that his disrespectful wife has left him unmourned, and he begs to return to the world just long enough to set it right. And she lets him go, and of course, he never comes back. He has to be hunted down a second time and hauled below for good. So picture it, a king who outwitted death itself twice, and a king who fed the gods his own child. Both of them finally caught, and the gods do not simply kill them, because killing them would be a mercy. Instead, they invent something new, a punishment that never ends and never even moves forward. The boulder will always roll back. The water will always retreat. Slow, that idea. Eternal, hopeless, repeating torment is one of the oldest in the whole Western imagination, and it begins right here on a black shore at the edge of the world. If you want the myths told this way, the honest version with the real sources on screen and the made-up parts labeled as made up, then follow this channel. It is the entire reason this place exists. Now, the verdict. Here is the honest accounting. What is genuinely ancient and genuinely Greek, straight from Homer, our oldest witness, around 700 BCE, is the punishment itself. Tantalus in the receding water, Sisyphus and the rolling stone. That part is bedrock. What is not in Homer is the why. The reason for Sisyphus's stone is never given in the Odyssey at all. The famous story of chaining death and tricking Persephone comes from later Greek writers and mythographers, and Tantalus's crime splits the sources. Pindar blames the theft of the gods' food, while the cannibal feast of Pelops belongs to a separate, later strand of the tradition. Then Rome and the modern world did what they always do. They tidied it up. Roman poets and later retellings fused the scattered versions into one clean tale. And the 20th century handed Sisyphus over to philosophy, turning a punished trickster into a symbol of human persistence. So here is the verdict. The suffering is Homeric and real to the myth. The crimes are a patchwork that the later world stitched together. And the neat single story you usually hear never actually existed in any one place. And maybe that is the very thing the Greeks were reaching for. To them, ordinary death was not oblivion. The dead lived on as thin, witless shades, drifting in the dark. The truly unbearable fate was not to stop existing. It was to keep existing, fully awake, fully aware, while everything you reach for slips away from you forever. Tantalus and Sisyphus are not being killed. They are being kept slow. That is the punishment worse than death, and we still carry its name in our own language every single time something dangles just beyond our grasp. But these two had company down there, because the Greeks saved their cruelest creativity for one specific kind of sin. There was a king bound to a spinning wheel of fire for daring to desire a goddess, and a giant stretched out across 9 acres of ground for an unforgivable crime against the gods themselves. Next time, the prisoners of Tartarus, and the one offense that Zeus would never, ever forgive. Follow every myth, the honest version.